Here we are on Lamborghini's website, and it's saying the Huracan STO is a street legal race car. This little blurb is saying is 75% of its body is carbon fiber, and the front hood slash fenders are all one piece, like a clamshell. Interior, I don't care about that so much. Nice sketches, of course, and here's some specs. So it's like a 5.2 liter, making around 640 horsepower, goes almost 200 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, or 0 to 100. And if you care about consumption, owning a Lamborghini, I guess that's good. I don't know. I wouldn't even think about that. Anyways, we got some photos, and we got the good old Mini GT number 547, and we also have some wheels that I picked up from these guys here. MW underscore shop underscore 164. That's their Instagram. They also have a Facebook page that you can just look up MW shop 64. Let's get that out of the way. So as usual, Mini GT packaging is pretty good because Mini GT, well, I guess I can't say their quality control is 100% perfect. I have had a few duds, and they do make a lot of different models, so one would expect it to be worse. But so far, I'm still okay with the small packaging instead of a giant blister pack, or even worse, those crystal boxes. Alright, and then Mini GT is a legit company. They're really part of TSM Model, which makes airplanes and other models and stuff. So they're holograms and whatnot. And we got the little thing here to protect it. And it also has rubbery mirrors, which is probably one of the greater things about Mini GTs as well. You don't have to fear those things breaking. Alright, let's get some image comparisons going on here. Nice power slide here. Yeah, I would ignore the green, the shade of green. This is under some serious sunlight. This looks very flaky, but maybe this is the exact same paint that's on that car, but at that size, maybe that's just the way it looks. Couldn't find a green image from the side. What I'm not a fan of are all these black wheels on all these modern cars. I mean, I could understand being lazy and not wanting to clean your wheels all the time, so they're black. But if you can own a supercar like this, you're not going to be cleaning your own wheels anyways, right? So I could understand like a Toyota Prius or a Honda Accord having black wheels just because people are lazy and don't want to clean them. But these cars, come on, man. Show off the details. Alright, well, with that said, Mini GT did copy these kind of like snowflake-esque kind of wheels here. And there's gold in the middle for that racing center knockoff there. Oh, that's actually a Lamborghini crest. I thought it was just a gold circle at first. I should zoom in here. Yeah, alright, so you get a general gist of the Lamborghini shield. But you can also see, because these are kind of toys, these spokes are very thick, right? Not as thin as, like, say, a 3D printed wheel would be. But you got the tires, they're pretty low profile. I'm not sure why the sidewall on this tire is so messed up, like it was chewed on. Hold on, let's do a little swapperoo. Let's see if this inside surface looks better. They're so thin, such thin tires. Well, no, I don't know. I think that could have been worse. it's not on the wheel. Alright, so. Well, anyways, it's worth a try, I guess, but I don't know which is worse or better. I guess maybe I'll just go back to the way it was. I'm almost starting to think like they should, with tires that thin, maybe it would just be better if they molded this all black plastic. Like, forget the rubber, right? Because maybe just paint that part of the plastic a different shade of black so it looks like a tire. All these rubber things, I think sooner or later are going to crack. That's what I'm afraid of. Some of my Chorokus have. Alright, well, as usual, Tampo printing. No weird decal BS so that you get some from the more expensive brands. So, black paint here. Paint. That's It's all paint. Paint is good. Door handle looks alright. The fuel filler thing looks okay. The rear wheel, same. Looks pretty good. At least the tire on the rear wheel looks a lot better. This venting, looks like, is there a rib in there? Yeah, there's a rib. Okay. The side window has molded molding, and that's painted black. Very nice. This is a crazy green. It's almost like a hot rod green, like something you would see on a hot rod or like a low rider. All right, going to the front. The Lambo crest seems it's okay. Probably similar to the wheels. But yeah, again, look at this paint. It's almost like a reptile theme or something, or like a custom paint job where they take that saran wrap and create like this crazy pattern in the paint. The headlights, I think we still have a clear piece of plastic, but I think there's a printing of these weird lines, and I think they're behind this surface I'm touching. I don't think I'm literally touching the lines, see? So that's interesting. There's a little depth going on there. It's this Lambo and their crazy headlight styling. This one though has, oh, that must be the peg that goes into the body, like this weird trapezoid. But oddly, I don't see it on this side, so I don't know what's going on so much on the headlights. It's really hard to see, hard to tell on something this small. So the grill area, it's pretty deep in there. Oh, this is interesting, the construction. So the orange is a separate piece and is pegged in there, and that's why you have such good separation of color between this orange and the black. It's not painted on the black base or the body. It's literally a separate piece. So very good, Mini GT, that you went through that trouble of making a separate piece. A lazy brand would just have this part of the casting of one of the two parts, the top or the bottom. But look at this. Now you can see the air is actually passing behind this little canted wing, which I would have to assume happens on the real car. It's hard to tell, because it's all black in there. So that's interesting. I would imagine that creates a lot of turbulence. All right. STO is printed up there well enough. The black there is okay. The black of the window seems okay. And you can see my fingerprints. I apologize. And raised wiper blades. The dash, black, simple details, standard stuff. The roof, you got a bunch of louvers and nice, this black paint in those vent areas. I mean, that's a solid surface, but it looks like they would be vents. I don't know if those are like quick release latches or something. And then this orange trim, I wouldn't be surprised again if that's a separate piece because the separation is so good. See, I think it pegs in right there into the die cast. So that's another piece. This is another piece. This ventral wing has got a nice carbon graphic on it, as well as the white stripe. The whole tail has the carbon treatment as well. It's very nice. That's paint. You can hear the ridges of the paint. I don't think it's molded in. I could be mistaken though, because these things don't have that molding, right? So that's just black, and then the wing goes carbon, and then orange here for the side wing. I don't know, wing ends, I guess you would call it. It's quite interesting that it cants in downwards like that, and it's more interesting that Mini GT was able to mold that. So very cool. I see the core of the mold comes out here. So that's a really nice wing that they molded. Fortunately, a little bit of extra orange paint got there for some reason. So the taillights, they're clear, and they got red back behind the clearness, so that's pretty good. All black in here, a rib texture, crosshatch pattern here. And then the exhaust pipes are just, black and round, but it looks like they're just black on the photographs. What I'm not really a fan of is this glossy black. I have a suspicion on the real car, this is not glossy. It's just raw carbon probably. I feel like this whole black here, and here, basically all the black should just be a matte finish black. I think that would have been nice. I don't think it should have been glossy. Oh, I'm now noticing here on the chin, there's a big white stripe here. Okay. I gotta back out. It's not fair to zoom in on something that at this price range. This tire, all right, that's not, well, yeah, see. It's really hard to get such a thin rubber tire molded perfectly because it's so thin, right? And then if you're new to Mini GT and collecting, Mini GTs all roll like Hot Wheels, so you can actually send this down a track, and you know the mirrors probably won't break off either, so this is one brand you can actually probably play with. Unfortunately, as usual, they don't tell you what the car is, so it's really strange. Just all this real estate, and they don't tell you what it is. And then again, I don't know why this base needs to be glossy. It's just strange. It should be matte black. Alright, I'm looking at the photos. The interiors of those photos look like they're black, so I think for now I'll just leave this alone, maybe? Maybe. Let's get into the wheel swap now. So yeah, again, the place, or the brand is called MW Shop. You would think you would make that bigger, but these are 3D printed and already assembled pretty much. These are spacers if you need, and they're 0.5 or 1 millimeter thick spacers, but we'll see if I need them at all. These do not have brake calipers or anything, brake systems. I'm going to add my own. I have some 3D printed ones of my own. So I do believe these wheels actually are some sort of optional wheels from Lamborghini, but I might be mistaken. That's what I was told by the MW Shop guys. So although they're 3D printed, you would have a hard time believing that's the case. I think they told me they use an 8K printer. So yeah, under this magnification you can see the step lines there, all those different layers. But I mean, look at my finger. Look how disgusting that is, right? So to the naked eye, you can't see these details I'm showing you. It's just that I'm magnifying it, right? So don't let those step lines bother you, because you'll never see them with your own eyes. It's just not going to happen unless you happen to be a superhuman or something. Alright, let's... Wow, there's some... You can just hear the thing crack apart. Some sort of stuck paint or something. Maybe the paint was wet when they put this together. Again. So maybe I'll paint these silver and just forget the Lambo logo and put them on something else one day. Maybe a Toro Q. I feel like they're not good enough for other models because the spokes are so thick. They just don't look right. They don't look like modern wheels with the spokes that thick. They look like wheels from the 1980s. They are staggered though. Now I'm noticing the treads, right? So that is going to be a case with the spacers. And actually, since the thing's open, we can look at the molded details. Standard stuff. Yeah, nicely molded. Just no additional color. The engine, same thing. It's interesting they would mold this at all, because the whole... I guess maybe this interior might be applicable to other Huracans from Mini GT, and that would have a piece of glass over it instead. Oh boy, what color would I paint that? Orange? That might be crazy, right? So just a mental note, this wheel had a chip in it, same right there. So sadly, I got some bad tires, not the wheel, the tire itself. I mean, it's rigid plastic. I know this because I print my own wheels, so just gotta accept it. It's the way it is. I had some 3D printed brakes with black calipers, as I see in that side photograph. You can cut the axles wider and they'll roll like a Hot Wheels, but I actually cut mine tighter so it doesn't roll, because I want my brakes to be in the same location. If I really want it to not move, I'd actually probably put some putty in there. I also painted the interior. I'm not sure if you noticed that. The dashboard's still black. I broke it off, and then I painted the rest of it orange, and it's actually a pretty good match. So unfortunately, the windows are just so shallow. It's really hard to see anything in there. So a few other Lambos. Here's a Kyosho of just a regular Huracan. I'm going to put that on the outside there. Now this one is a Super Trofeo, as the website mentioned, is kind of similar. This is an earlier kind of like more race-oriented one, and that's by Kyosho also. Back out a little bit. Mini GT just has a normal updated Huracan here. Again, doesn't tell you any information on the bottom. That's really stupid. I have to plain say it's stupid of Mini GT to not tell you what these cars are. So I have to sit there and add stickers to this. This is a 2020 Evo apparently, and it's got the Follow Me airport livery on it. Then this is another Mini GT with an LB Works body kit, and I believe this one is from 2014 to 2019. I repainted those wheels on that one. And the last one again is a Mini GT, but it is a something. I don't know, a Liberty Walk something. It's just weird. It's so strange to not tell people what they have. It's kind of like the back end of a Tesla. They don't tell you what the car is. It's strange as happens. Alright, well anyways, so we got a pretty good amount of Huracans put out by Mini GT, and a few by Kyosho. So, in particular, you know, that Super Trofeo, you might want to look into getting one of those. This one is screwed together, but I left that interior black. Well, let me give it a top view. Yeah, so maybe that interior is shared, you know, like with this, so you can see the engine through that one, and same through that one, so maybe that's why they molded the interior of that. It's just from these older castings. I gotta say, it's an awesome looking car. It's really weird. I actually like the model more than the car. For some reason, I actually don't like these color schemes, this orange and green, or the Gulf livery so much. But oddly, in a miniature form, I really like the colors. It works well. And then I really like the wheels that these guys put together, even if they have some quality issues from the 3D printing process. So anyways, I'm really happy to have this one. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I'm sure I'll review another Mini GT soon. See you then.